Hey everybody, thanks for joining the next episode of the Paper Bag Club. As always, I'm Richard Knox and with me is Aliyes Dell. Today our topic's going to be about music and concerts and some of the concerts we've been to and some concerts we'd like to see and some of our experiences. So thank you for joining us today.
How's everybody doing?
I hope well. We're on live like we have been the past couple times to try to get some feedback and see what other people's thoughts are and some concerts they've been to and some of their music types that they like seeing.
Absolutely, because there's lots of different types of music. For those of you watching and or listening, I guess, you'll notice that Brandon is not with us this episode. He has officially moved
to Portland.
And we will try to get him back on through like phone or Skype or something, but I have to work out the kinks on how to do that because we've never had to do that before, let alone learn how to do podcasting 2 months ago.
Learning curve, but nothing's going to stop us from getting the job done.
There we go. So I guess we can start off by some of the people we like listening to.
True. Yeah. Well, my music taste has changed a lot over the years since, being a teenager and growing into an adult. When I was in high school, I used to like listening to a lot of like hardcore metal music, and that was probably the majority of my concert attendance has been over the years. But now I don't listen to as much metal or screaming.
Yeah.
Not that I don't appreciate it or like it anymore. It's just it gets me riled up in a different way that I don't really feel that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not such an angsty kid anymore.
Yeah, I never got into that kind of music, but except for the typical one, I think the most popular one, at least my middle school year, was Cut My Life Into Pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Last Resort.
Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one for me, but nothing other than that. I knew people that kind of got into that type of music, but it was just never for me.
Yeah, well, that wasn't quite what I liked listening to.
No,
I know. I think
different.
that song's iconic. Mine was more definitely screaming and crazy guitar riffs. But I've also been to all sorts of concerts. My first concert ever, I was a kid, was a Toby Keith concert. Actually, really. And being a kid, I don't think I really had much of a musical taste yet. So really anything would satisfy me in that sense, but also it's not like I chose to go. My parents were like, hey, we going to go see Toby Keith. And I'm like, okay, I grew up listening to Toby Keith. I'm from the South, so it was a really cool experience. And then growing up, I don't think I went to like another actual concert until I was a teenager, like a later teen.
Yeah.
So it's a cool experience.
Yeah, concerts are very fun. I think they're more fun for people you actually go to see. Because I think, as far as I remember, the first concert I ever attended, okay, that's not true. I've been to a lot when I was like a kid. Like Wild Adventures in Georgia has a lot of concerts like over the weekends and stuff, and I would go to those a lot of times during the summer. And so I've been to concerts at a very young age, but I don't really remember them. So like the biggest one that I remember was in 2010 when I was at Camp Pendleton in California. There was this I think it was called like the VH1 Divas concert, and it had like Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj and Sugarland and a couple of other people, and
star-studded.
Yeah, very much so. And it was a funny story because I believe the way it worked is if you lived on base, you get a free admission. And all you had to do is just say, hey, I want to go. So that they'll give you a ticket. And then after like the certain window, they'll close the tickets and then you can't get in anymore.
Yeah, I had a similar experience when I also lived on Camp Pendleton. But when I was there, we had Snoop Dogg and the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, on the beach, right?
Yeah, on the beach in St. Onofre, which was a really cool experience in itself. And again, when I was that age, I didn't even really listen to hip hop and rap music until after I graduated high school, but it was something to do. And especially being that young and living on base, there wasn't a lot for me to just go and do whenever I wanted, unless I was up to no good, which I definitely was up to no good when I lived there.
Kind of had to be.
On base, there wasn't a ton of stuff to do. When something like that was happening, I was like, okay, now I have the chance to go out and do something other than, airsofting or,
Yeah, which is fun as always. But, so with the concert, they gave you like a limited amount of tickets or whatever, or like a window to sign up. And my mom was like, hey, they're doing this free concert for like Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj, whatever. And I was like, I don't want to go. And she goes, okay, well, I don't want to go by myself. So if you guys don't want to go, then I won't go. And then my best friend David, his family was going, and they had an extra ticket. They're like, hey, we have an extra ticket to see this concert. Do you want to go? I said, oh, hell yeah, definitely.
So your mom didn't go?
My mom didn't go, and I still went. Yeah, she's still mad about it to this day. So.
Yeah, I would be too. Well, I mean, now I would go see Katy Perry live now. But if you asked me when I was that age too, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You want to go see who? No,
yeah, I was like, a girl? What? It was like all girls
listening to girl music.
Yeah.
No, I loved girl music growing up, and my uncle, who actually used to live with us, his favorite band for a long time that I really remember him listening to was No Doubt. So from an early age, I got this feel for female artists with Gwen Stefani and No Doubt, and it was so edgy for the time. I loved it. And then growing up in my time, he's older than me. I really liked Paramore, which has Hayley Williams as their front and center person, and I think having that experience with No Doubt first definitely grew me into loving Paramore, like not being ashamed of loving it. Not that no one should be ashamed of listening to to music or artists that are female, but I think that really grew me into getting into that edginess, and especially with a girl artist.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, No Doubt's great. Gwen Stefani was great. Yes.
Yeah, so that was one of my first concerts that I like knowingly remember. But the first concert I ever paid for myself, wanted to go to entirely on my own accords, and drove to at the point was Logic's The Incredible True Story Tour.
Okay.
Which was his, if I'm not mistaken, his first, I think it was his debut album. Unless I'm a terrible Logic fan. But I believe me and Cameron went to the first show.
Is that where you got that jacket from?
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's in the closet actually behind you. Yeah, it's like one of his astronaut jumper.
Yeah, like NASA type space.
Really cool jacket. It's very comfortable. It's just I can't really wear it at Beaufort, except for like that 1 month it gets cold here.
February?
Yeah.
You still got like 5 months till then?
Yeah. But that one day I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, well, that's really cool too, because I haven't really listened to a lot of Logic in the past. And when we took that trip to Savannah, we listened to, I think, the majority of one of his concept albums.
The Incredible True Story,
actually. And it was really good.
Yeah, he's like he is my favorite artist ever as of right now, and for the last 5 years. So his first concert we went to, I always get it mixed up. It was either, I think it was Charlotte, North Carolina, or it was Charleston, one or the other. I always get it mixed up.
One is definitely a lot farther away than the other.
How far is Charlotte?
Charlotte, I think it's like 4.5 hours.
Okay, then it must have been Charleston that we went to, and that's my first time in Charleston. Now that I remember it.
Yeah, Charleston's great too. They have the music farm up there, and if you went to Charleston, that's probably where you went to go.
I think it was. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Because I've been there.
Is it next to an IHOP? It's
been a long time since I've gone, but when I went, I'm pretty sure the music farm's downtown, in the city. It might be next to an IHOP. It makes sense if they're playing shows really late that they would have something open.
Yeah, really, it was very downtown-esque.
But especially because I think the music farm has alcohol. So if you're drinking, you're definitely going to need something to eat afterwards.
Definitely. Yeah. So that was my first big concert experience. It wasn't a huge concert, obviously, but it was my most memorable one because it was the first one that I went to on my own accord or whatever. And it was a great experience. Like I said, I think it's better if you go to a concert that you want to go to.
Definitely.
And it's the people that you're actually actively following and passionate about and stuff. So.
Said for me, when I graduated high school, I was in a band. So going to that scene of going to your and seeing other bands play, and we went to local shows, but seeing it on a bigger stage, very professional. It was almost like your aspirations. You're seeing them physically. I want to get to this point, and I went and saw a lot of post-hardcore screamo metal bands live, and that was a scene that I really liked for a long time. Mosh pits, people going crazy, throwing punches. I was never in the mosh pit, maybe twice. That's dangerous, and I'm not a dangerous person, right? I'm I can enjoy this from in the very front or in the very back.
Very back.
I lost a hat, and my friend lost a shoe one time. We're in the middle of a mosh pit, and it's scary stuff. Mm-hmm. But again, it was something that we were interested in. It was music that we liked and bands that we liked. So I've seen Sacred Survive a couple times live. I've seen Animals as Leader, Under Oath, A Day to Remember, To Speak of Wolves, all live. And it always goes crazy because it's such high energy just coming at you. They want you to be running in circles, and it's a workout, really.
Yeah,
and,
no, definitely.
I'm okay with not doing that now. I would like to go to a concert now where I can sit down.
Just enjoy it.
And enjoy it. I'm this is wonderful. wonderful. This is a catchy tune. I love singing this song. You know, I don't want to see people with a broken nose having to get carried away because they got kicked in the face.
Yeah, with at least with Logic, like a lot of the people he opened for, or that opened for him rather, they try to like get the crowd very, you know, hype and excited. And there was this one guy, I forget who he was exactly, but his whole thing was he was very connected with the crowd, and he was trying to get people to say, hey, put your hand up and hands up, like don't put them down, or lighters or phones, or like jumping, and it got exhausting.
Oh,
you know,
it's like, can I put it down?
He's like, put your hands up. We're like, okay, cool. And then like a minute later, you're like, okay, cool. And he goes, put your hands up. I was like, God damn it.
So you got me. Is this Simon Says?
Yeah. So I've been to 2 Logic concerts. Like I said, that VH1 Divas one. Plenty of Wild Adventure concert ones. A lot of them I don't remember. The only one I actually do remember was Zac Efron actually performed back in his High School Musical era. Yeah, he was doing some of that stuff. And then I went to a 21 Pilots concert one time. It was about 2 years ago, and I got it as a Christmas present for my sister and my girlfriend. And it was funny because I told them, like, I wanted to get it because I knew that they were interested in the band and that there was a concert coming up in Charleston. So I said, okay, cool, I'll look to get the tickets. Now, I never bought tickets online other than, like, Logic.
Yeah.
So not only one, the price was exciting or, you know, whatever, confusing. Also, I didn't go through the arena's website. I went through, like, a third-party one.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to get scammed, so I did, like, a lot of research. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I was pressured. And then for Christmas, I told my girlfriend that I got the tickets for the 3 of us, and I had not. The concert's in March. I didn't buy them until February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, got it close. And it's a pretty big stadium, so we were actually in like one of the very, very back top rows. So we had a good view of everything, but we weren't close, but I didn't mind it.
Well, that's how it was with us when we went to WrestleMania. So we bought our tickets online, and those tickets get expensive, and we had like the most nosebleed seats. I mean, I think there was probably like 5 rows behind us, you know, and we're in the Superdome. It's like one of the biggest stadiums I think there is right now in the United States, and that could be a lie. But it was massive.
big.
You know, I think there was like 70,000 people there or something crazy. And
yeah, I think our stadium was like,
you know,
a couple thousand maybe.
Yeah, it was insane. But you know, there's still a lot of time where I would like to have more experience going out to see a lot of other people perform.
Yeah.
And I do plan on it. There's like John Mayer. I know he was going on a tour just recently in August, and I really wanted to see him, but it just wasn't in the cards for me to see him. But that's like on my bucket list to see John Mayer live. And I think you can also see like the difference I was talking about in music, where I'm like, you know, screaming death metal
to John Mayer.
And now I'm like, man, I would love to go to a John Mayer concert.
Yeah.
But also, I would love to go to like a hip hop concert. I would love to see Bruno Mars. I feel like that would be a different kind of high energy, you know, where people are just like dancing and, you know, just really feeling the groove. I would also love to see like J. Cole. I've never been to a rap concert other than that one on bass.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really cool to see someone who's really big right now. And I would also love to see Daniel Caesar, who's kind of a really good like lo-fi type artist out right now. I have calmed down a lot from what I used to, but those are a lot of people I'd like to see right now play, and I think that their concerts would be
interesting
and a good vibe still. It's not like a drag.
Yeah, I know some you hear there are these horror stories about these certain concerts where people are like getting hurt or, like you said, dragged out or even killed sometimes, which is crazy. Well,
I haven't heard of anybody getting killed, but I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it has happened. The second time me and Cameron went to a Logic concert was I forget where, but we saw him a second time for his second album tour, and there was this one part of the show where he was performing, and someone threw a water bottle on stage, and he stopped this concert. Like then and there he goes. Like he's playing, he's like, and then he picks up the water bottle, he's like, yo, cut the music, whatever. And then dead silent. And he goes, yo, who the fuck threw this water bottle up here? Like, you got to be honest, or I'm going to walk off stage right now. You're going to ruin the night for everybody. And this girl got up and she's like, oh, it was me. She thought he was going to bring him on stage. He said, security, get her and get the fuck out. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's like, real too. I mean, imagine like where we work now, if someone to throw a water bottle at you.
Like,
it wouldn't be pleasant.
No, not at all.
It'd probably be the same thing. Get out. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm here working for your pleasure.
Yeah.
And something like that happens. So
it's crazy.
You know, you got to have a lot of respect for the artist because touring is a lot of work.
I can only imagine
man.
it's extremely hard.
I wouldn't want to live out of a bus.
I mean,
every
the
day
hotels are cool, but have you ever been in a hotel for like more than 3 days?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, now what?
Yeah, true. And then being in different hotels, or if you just have a tour bus and just sleeping on the bus all day long, it can get cramped, you know, and you're still having to come out with this high energy every single time, every different place, all these different people who are expecting that same energy.
If not higher.
Yeah, if not higher, everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And imagine people like Logic who keep going on tour, or Beyonce or Jay-Z, where they're going on world tour after world tour after world tour. And it's like,
you do a concert, get on the road, do a concert, just get a flight, do a concert nonstop. I mean, I'm sure they're making a lot of money, so it's kind of worth it. And then also the interaction with the fans, but I can only imagine it's one of the most exhausting things out there.
Yeah, I don't like people. So it's like the interaction with the fans part for me. I'm like, look, maybe like 3 people just to make their
like
life
a little private show.
That moment, right? Where they're just like, oh, we got to get backstage. They brought us up on stage. Everyone else, you got what you paid for. I'm done. See ya. Bye.
So I would definitely like to see another Logic concert. He's gotten a lot bigger. I
want to go with you to a Logic concert.
Yeah, I mean, I can look into it. He's coming out with a new tour. He just started yesterday, actually. Wow. The only problem with it is now that he's a lot bigger, I think he has to target his city, so he gets the maximum amount of people. So 3-4 years ago, he would play in South Carolina. This year, his tour doesn't even come in. I think they go to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then Atlanta, Georgia. Like they skip right over us.
Yeah, that's like almost equal distance to Atlanta. I think it's 5 hours.
And then I think it's like
4.5.
Orlando, Florida. So I can look at the tour dates, but
I always like going to Florida. I mean, I like going to Atlanta too. I've been to Atlanta maybe like 4 or 5 times.
I've only been once, but I heard it's pretty cool.
I enjoy it every single time. And there's definitely, I said, cities scare me. I'm always in the back of my head, oh, I would love to live in a city. I'm not a city guy. No. You know, I would not thrive in a city.
I think I could, because I mean, I moved here from Virginia Beach, and I wasn't like in the dead center city, but I was like on the outskirts of the inner city.
Yeah, so like the suburbs.
Yeah, so definitely not like where we're at now, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be the coolest part about living near a city is all the stuff that's going on. Actually, I went to San Diego a couple of years back, and I went to the House of Blues, and my mom got tickets for us to go to the House of Blues, and Biz Markie was playing. And I don't have a lot of experience with listening to Biz Markie. I know he was in the 80s, and he does that one song, You Got What I Need. That's the only song I know. But it was cool to be there. You know, again, it's the energy. You're seeing people are loving to be there, and there's a lot of older people there.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I love Biz Markie back in the day. And me, I'm just hanging out with my brother and my sister, like, I'm trying to drink and have a good time. I'm in San Diego.
Yeah, I know concerts are, I mean, they're very fun. And I think if you get the chance, like if you haven't, highly recommend going to at least one, preferably for someone you actually listen to, like can sing along to the words and stuff. But in terms of like listening to music, do you ever find yourself preferring concert versions of songs opposed to studio? Because I cannot.
There's a very select few for me where I feel like I prefer the live rendition of it. And it's normally because I heard the live rendition first. Yeah. Is that I'm like, oh, that's how I'm used to hearing it. That's how I heard it first. And I liked it that way. Anime. Yeah. So I'm like, oh. And that was the hardest part for me about going to shows, because you're not going to get that studio quality. Yeah. When you're at a live show, you're just not.
Yeah. Because like actually on the way to the Logic concerts, me and Cameron were listening to the album. Like we're listening to the album he's about to perform for us, and when you hear a studio album, whatever, you're like you know,
you're hearing the perfected
pitch,
version.
Yeah, and then you go to the concert, you're trying to like sing along to what the version you know, and it's like a little off, but it's they'll higher do whatever.
And I think that's why you go to the concerts, is for that
variation.
Energy. The variation, and that was something I had to get used to very quickly with all the concerts and shows I've been to, because people are just trying to have fun. They're trying to do it different, because doing the same thing over and over again can get boring. Yeah. So like, hey, let me throw this part in. You know, people are trying to see us live and have this energy and do things different. So
yeah. Also, I think at least with some people I know, like doing special things for certain audiences, like maybe like something unique to each audience, that way it's not like same thing over and even if it's something small,
like putting in the city's name, where if you had a song about one city, when you're singing that song, you
just change the
instead
name.
of using the city that was in the song, they say like Houston, and you're in Chicago, you say Chicago.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, and then people go crazy like
yeah.
But yeah, I know I see Brocia says Warped Tour. That is one thing I haven't had the pleasure of doing, and I know a stupid amount of people in my life that have gone to Warped Tour. And you know, me being in the band scene for just a small amount of time in my life, I am upset with myself for not ever going to Warped Tour. Yeah, like that's like the epitome of like rock bands. Everyone wants to play. Well, at least back in the day too. Everyone wanted to play at the Warped Tour. And in my head, whenever I think of Warped Tour, I think of like Blink 182. You know, whereas that was like the epitome of going and seeing everyone you wanted to see in one place. So you're not just like, oh, I'm gonna go see this one band I really want to see.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing, doing like music festivals and stuff, where you can see a lot of different people. See like Warped Tour, like Coachella.
Yeah, Coachella too. I think that's more like the uppity version. So. And then you have things that go crazy, like the Fire Festival. That was a complete shit show.
Yeah, that Marley goes to this one in Savannah called the Stopover Festival.
I remember hearing about that.
And I if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like more like indie type bands and stuff, like not big people or whatever. She really enjoys that. She's actually found new music she listens to from going to there. Like, I like that person. That was a good song. Check them out. And now she listens to them regularly.
Yeah, I've actually have a couple bands like that I listen to now, where I went to a show, and it's never, you go to a show and it's like one performer. Yeah. I don't know how it was with Logic.
Yeah, he had 2 openers.
Yeah, so there's always openers. I have a couple bands that I've listened to over the years where I went to a concert and they were one of the openers. I'm like, oh man, this is great. And I go to their booth and I buy their CD, and that's all I listen to for that month. So I'm like, oh, this is so great. Yeah. So it's always cool to be going out and being able to experience new music and seeing, exploring what you like.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like the first time me and Cameron went to the Logic tour, we it was Under Pressure. The first one was Under Pressure. Okay. The second was Credible True Story. Yeah. And so the first time we went there, we parked in a parking lot across from IHOP, and then we went toward. So you have to pass IHOP to get to the Barn House or whatever. And there's there's these 2 guys on the corner, like, hey, you guys here for the Logic concert? I thought he was trying to like direct us or whatever. Yeah. He's like, or we're like, yeah, we are. Is it this way? He goes, yeah, it's that way. But hey, before you go, here's my mixtape. Give it a shot. Only $20. I'll sign it for you. When I'm big, you can sell it on eBay for $1,000. We ended up buying it because we didn't know how to say no. We listened to it on the way home. We're like, what the fuck?
What am I listening to?
Yeah. There's like this guy do? Maybe one good song.
Did you make this in your basement?
Right. And it's like terrible to knock someone's whatever grind, creative passion.
Art,
Yeah, their art. But I mean,
there's some forms of art out there that I'm just not into. And it's okay not be into it. My mother is the queen of telling people no. Yeah. In that situation, I saw her when I went to Atlanta last. She was doing a business trip, and we were walking down the city, and these people are like trying to sell something, and they try to stop. I was like, hey, do you have a moment? My mom's like, no, thank you, I'm not interested, and just kept walking. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, like you can do that. You can do that. So now I've adapted that. When I'm in the mall and I'm passing the kiosk, people are like, hey, how you doing? I just don't acknowledge them. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you waste your time on me today, okay?
Yeah, I've gotten trapped by that too many times. I've been trapped by it at least 3 times for the people like do like the sea salt hand wash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've had people with little platters come out, and I thought it was cheese. I almost ate a piece of soap.
Oh wow.
So now I'm just like, nope. It's all fake.
Yeah, I mean they gotta sell. I mean that's their whole thing. One time we sat at this woman was selling a hair straightener, and she got me and Marley to stand around for 30 minutes, and she straightened her hair. She did this. She was talking. I mean, she was pretty funny and entertaining if it's all the act. But at the end, she's like, "Oh, do you guys want to buy it? I'll give you like 70% off." Like, "Oh, we just spent our money. Like, we don't have it." Like, that's always my excuse is, "Oh, I just don't have the money," or "I would," Yeah. And it's just very uncomfortable to say no in those situations. But the sooner you learn to, the better you'll be off.
Yeah, I had a guy come up to my apartment one day where I live now, and he knocked on the door. And in my neighborhood, there's this giant sign when you walked into or drove into the neighborhood that says no soliciting. Yeah. Right? So in my head, I'm like, yeah, I should never have this problem. One day, a guy knocks on my door. And he has this little catalog, and he goes, hey, I'm trying to sell these magazine subscriptions. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not interested. He goes, well, just hear me out. And I'm like, fine, I'll listen. I'll listen to you. That's what I'm giving you is my ears. That's it. So he gets through it all, right? And he goes, so what are you interested in? What do you want to buy? And I'm like, nothing. He goes, what? And I'm like, I told you from the start I wasn't interested, and all you wanted me to do was listen. And I listened. So you're not even supposed to do this. Here, how about this? What is a concert that you're going to try to go to next?
Probably the Logic one, and I'll let you know. And I mean, I don't know how vested Cameron would be. I mean, he loves Logic too. I mean, you've seen his tattoo. He has a little tattoo of
Rat Park.
Yeah, yeah, Rat Park. So I mean, that's probably his favorite artist as well. So he's gone to, I believe, every concert of his since his debut album Under Pressure.
Oh wow.
which is pretty impressive. Yeah, I wanted to go to like the last two, but the time flew by and I didn't have time to plan for it. And he even flew out to Utah to see one with Logic and G-Eazy, where they did a summer one. I said that would have been so great to go to.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, he just launched his tour like 2 days ago. He's going to be in, I believe, North Carolina and Georgia this year, somewhat soon. So I'd probably have to look as soon as we finish this and buy tickets if I want to do that. Because like
the first time,
the first time we went, I think the tickets were $25.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that was about 4 years ago. They're probably at least 100, if not more.
Yeah, 100 for probably.
Which ticket prices are crazy to think of as well.
Yeah, man, you're buying the art. You're buying the experience of the art. Yeah, I would like to see Post Malone also.
He would be great.
Is what Miss Dell says.
If you haven't seen 21 Pilots in concert and you're even remotely interested, I'd recommend it. We had a great experience. They the music is great. I like their music a lot, but also something else they're really good at is like effects, visual effects. Like they're really good with visual effects. Like they'll play like little short films. They have a lot of lights, a lot of smoke. They even did like a magic trick at one point where he's really? They're like, direct your attention over here, and it's like the drummer, and then like a poof of smoke, and next thing you know, he's on stage drumming in like 3 seconds. I was like, wait,
he has a twin brother. That's the only way you can explain this.
I was like, that's pretty impressive. And then they show like behind the scenes, he's like dashing like as fast as he can. Yeah,
and then straight into playing.
Yeah, so I mean,
he's got a cramp in his leg. He's got to keep that bass going.
Pretty impressive though. So that's one I'd recommend if you get the chance to. But yeah, I really like to see Logic again. Probably my favorite artist, and I really enjoyed his concerts.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, David Ratliff, shout him out, who actually just invited me to go to a Hobo Johnson concert.
Yeah. Marley wants to see him.
And so that's pretty cool. I was just telling Marley too that, I think he's kind of like the future of what a lot of music is going to be like.
He's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot of artists that I've heard like him. He's more like spoken word over music.
Yeah. And, he's very honest too.
Yeah, I think he really speaks from like his heart and his soul and his experience, which I think makes him different. But I've seen like a whole bunch of interviews, and since I got invited, I've probably only heard like 2 of his songs. But now I've listened to like a whole bunch, like a whole album.
Have you heard his new album?
I know he just came out with a new album like a month ago or so, and
we've had it on repeat in the car.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and I like to go for the experience. It's not my favorite type of music. But it's still really good. Yeah. And I've definitely heard a lot of music where I'm like, whoa. I didn't get into like rap until after I graduated high school, because rap was a very strange thing for me.
Yeah, my middle school, high school years were like Eminem type rap, and then now it's escalated. My favorite type of music now is actually fast rap.
Oh yeah,
just like the fastest rap.
Speed.
Yeah, the speed rappers. And some of my favorite like hip hop artists would be like Logic, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, they're not like they are fast, but like not as fast as I'm trying to talk
rhymes.
To. Yeah, they're very lyrical, and I really like the lyricalness of it. But I think if I had to pick one, it'd be Speed. So some of the fastest rappers out there are like George Watsky, Mac Lethal, Logic's on there, Joyner Lucas. There's this guy I like called Khan. I think we listened to him in the car the other day.
Yeah, we did listen.
Token, he's a little new still. Like all these people can rap extremely fast, and there's rapping fast and then rapping fast lyrically. And they can do both, and that's what's really impressive.
So you can just say words that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Or you can say something that's from your heart.
Some ding dong.
And it's meaningful
like, wow.
and quick.
Yeah.
They're like auctioneers.
Yeah, you ever see the auctioneer rap battles? Yeah, those are impressive.
I can't even do it gibberishly.
Right.
Like,
and I think not only is it just like impressive to like watch and listen to, and sometimes even try to mimic and repeat. You probably know this just from being around me. I kind of have like mumble a lot, and I don't do it intentionally, but I find that anytime I try to like sing or like rap these really fast rap songs, I have to really over articulate my words, and it helps me speak better. So I don't have like a speech impediment or anything. I just talk.
You're lazy.
I have lazy mouth.
It's like, why pronounce that letter in this word?
Yeah, pull a Kevin on him.
Why say much word when little do trick?
Exactly. So yeah, I like fast rap, one for the impressiveness of it, but also kind of helps me with like articulating my words a little better, I guess.
Yeah, and I think having that enunciation, and it definitely helps with music. Yeah, I think that's why Jay-Z was really good with rapping, because he was really good at enunciating the words he was rapping, and so it's not sounding like you said like mumble rap, where most of the time you're like, what did he just say?
Yeah. You put on the captions.
Hot Cheetos on the Fritos?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's interesting. Music is definitely a interesting thing. I think one of the questions I asked the other day was, would you rather lose sight or hearing? It's a super hard question because both have very important things. I mean,
yeah, I would rather lose my hearing, and I love music. I'm a musician myself, and so to think of not being able to hear music anymore,
it would suck.
It's and not even like when I'm thinking of losing my hearing of hearing like birds chirping or
just music.
Yeah, just music. I mean, it would suck. Like I'm like, man, I could go without ever hearing my dogs bark and scare me in the middle of the night, because they hear a little crick in the wood or something. But
you can't ever be pranked again. Because sounds I think like sound is half of seeing, just like smelling is half of tasting or whatever.
Yeah, but you can still go to a concert and see them. Do you know how awful that would be, going to a concert and not being able to see where they are? It's like, where are they going?
I think it'd be
or movies,
bad, but
TV shows, subtitles are real. I can read. I can still enjoy it.
Yeah. So, what's some music or concerts you guys like listening to or watching or you've been to?
Yeah, please comment down below and let us know. What do you like? What have you seen? What are your plans for the future? And we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. I think it's about to cut out. So you want to?
Yeah.
Cool.
I opened.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to us talk about music and concerts. Let us know your thoughts down below. Check the description for YouTube, or we're already on YouTube, for our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. Links all in the description. And start a conversation with us in the comments. My name's Aliyes Dell.
And I'm Richard Knox. And thank you for joining us for the Paper Bag Club.
Episode number 10. There we go. Cool. Let's make sure that recorded.
Right. It's just your camera again.